Make me more.
We are live. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I got my background music going, y'all. Oh, we should have had Sipping on Your Mind. Oh, my goodness. Hey, y'all. Happy Friday. It is another Friday, and we have made it through the week. Thank everybody for joining, and it is so good to see everybody. Happy Relationship Friday. Who all is in the Relationship Friday kind of mood today? So listen, y'all know what to do. When y'all come in, let us know where you are tuning in from. We want to shout you out. And look, y'all see me, I'm doing 1, 2, 3. I'm streaming to a couple of different places. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm looking all over the place. But hello and welcome. When you come in, if you would, let us know where you're tuning in from. We want to know where y'all are joining us from. We're on Facebook. We are on so listen, y'all, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and for the first time, we are on LinkedIn. So hello to the LinkedIn viewers. You are in for a treat. So if this is your first time joining us from LinkedIn and you haven't connected with us before, welcome to the family. So my name is Rachel Hunter. I am the owner of RDH Counseling and Consulting, where we help you become your healthiest self. We help individuals, we help couples, we help groups, and we also consult with businesses to help you all become better versions of yourselves, to help you walk through the healing if you need it, and to walk through wholeness. So we are excited to be here. So every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Hey Abigail, every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are here during Relationship Friday. So listen, when it comes to, hey Jamila, when it comes to, so on Facebook, it's RDH Counseling and Consulting, LLC. So you can go through Facebook and look us up that way. But we are excited to be here. We do all things relationships on Fridays. So tonight, we are going to be talking about what men need, what they're looking for in their partners, right? So for all the ladies that are like, listen, I am wanting to be the safe space for the man in my life, or for the men in my life, or I'm trying to get a man and I need some help with knowing how to be successful. We got a handsome, very intelligent young man that is joining us. And we are excited to have him here with us. As y'all saw, he is a Grammy. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself. But listen, we doing it. We got a Grammy nominated artist with us. And we are going to have a good time picking his brain, talking to him. Because as y'all know, it's a lot going on with our men. And they're not always supported. They don't always have the safe space. And at RDH Counseling and Consulting, we are here for that. So we love talking to our men, picking their brains, and they help us grow. So we are excited. Hey, Kenny. Hello from Norfolk. Courtney's in the building. Hey, Courtney. Courtney, where are you joining us? Hey. It is so good to have you all here. So without further ado, I forgot to, okay, so my team tells me I'm supposed to do this every time. Can y'all share this? Can you like this, share this, and invite somebody? Did I get it right, Max? Those three, yes. So like, share, and invite somebody. And also
Subscribe. Don't forget that one.
Yes, because we're also on YouTube. I forgot about that. So subscribe. We're trying to get our numbers up on YouTube because I think we're only at We just got over there, but we're only at like 24. Like we need a little bit more. So if you would, and Jamila, I am staff is going to put that in there for you. But again, we're on Facebook at RDH Counseling and Consulting. So we are excited to have you here with us. All right. So without further ado, I am excited to have our guest to introduce himself. So if you would, Maxwell, let us know who you are.
Okay. Let's see. I am Maxwell Hunter. I am an artist, a musician, producer, composer, songwriter, all of that. Originally, I'm from Long Island, New York, but I grew up in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. There we go, made in Norfolk, and I'm just a man. I'm a brother, nephew, cousin, uncle, son, fiance, all of that. So, yeah.
Awesome. So as y'all can tell, we have a very well-rounded individual, well-rounded gentleman. So I'm excited. So for those of you all who have been here before, put that in the chat. Like, I've been here before. For those of y'all, if this is your first time, put that in the chat too. Say first time. Let us know. Thank y'all for sharing. Those of y'all who have shared and invited, thank you so much. Jamila, the link was put in there for Facebook. So whichever side you want to watch us on, that is fine. So thank y'all for sharing. All right. So just, for those of you all who are newbie, hey, Keith, listen, my fellas are in the building. I love when my men folks show up. Keith, hey, Keith. Keith said he's been here. Keith, where are you joining us from? Where are you watching us from? Courtney's here. Sharia Pettis. I don't know what that means, but Sharia, you're doing right, Courtney. Hey, Jamila, first time. Well, welcome. Listen, you're going to have a great time, and invite, share, like, and so Jamila, join us over here on Facebook. Okay, perfect. All right. So we are talking about this whole thing of safe space, right? Like for our men, and y'all know we do Tough Talk Tuesdays where we post and we support and encourage our men because they need it, right? And we need our men. We need our men, and we want y'all to know that we love y'all and we are here for you. So today we're kind of tying that in, right? So looking at what is a safe space, how can women become that safe space? But we wanted to hear it firsthand from men instead of us women kind of like, well, I know what the man wants. And so we said, why not bring on a man and kind of talk to him? Ladies, y'all get to pick and ask, pick his brain, ask questions. For the men, we want y'all to be chiming in. We're going to have poll questions that we'll be throwing out throughout as well. So Maxwell, you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Ready? We ready. Listen, I was getting hyped up earlier today. We ready. Hey. All right. Let's start here, Max. Let's talk about this whole concept of safe space, right? Like, you hear that's out there. What even is that? Like, what is a safe space? When you think as a man, and I know you don't speak for all men, but when you hear that, like, what does a safe space mean for you, to you? How would you describe it?
I would say a safe space is a place where, or a space where I can be unapologetically me, even with my flaws, shortcomings. There's no judgment, judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
A place where I can really flourish and really grow and really, understand myself. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, somewhere where I feel safe to like express myself in any type of way. I can really be honest, and transparent. That's, I think, at the end of the day, I think it's all about, not all about, but a lot goes into, for men, being able to be transparent, being able to feel, like I can tell you anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that, because this is what I'm hearing you say, right? When it comes to a safe space, it's I need to feel free. I need to feel comfortable enough to be me. And by being me, like you finna get all of me. Like I want to take my clothes
100%.
off and let you get all of this. And there's
Right.
no judgment. Like I can just be me.
Exactly.
I got
Exactly.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw that out there, right? So let me hear from y'all. And I want to hear from the men and the women, because I'm interested to know if there's a difference in what the consideration is when we're talking about what is the safe space. So what do y'all consider to be a safe space? And we'll bring up some of these comments. So when you're thinking about having a space where you can just be you, not judge, you don't have to like put on a facade, you don't have to pretend to be good all the time. That being me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important, would you say it is for men to have those kind of safe spaces where they can just go and be? Like 10 is like really important. 1 is like, I can take it or leave it. What would you give?
I mean, I feel as though it just depends on where that man is in his life. Okay. Is he in a relationship? Is he not in a relationship? Mm-hmm. Where is he at? Like for a college student, right? Mm-hmm. A college guy, somebody who's in college, it may not be, super, super important, mm-hmm. to have a safe space. Mm-hmm. So, maybe like a 5 or a 6, but someone who's like established, who's a man, like, men, especially mm-hmm. a black man, I'd say 10 out of 10 for sure. Mm-hmm. For sure. Whether you're in a relationship or not, it's hard out here for men. You forget me? You feel me? Yeah. So, and it's even harder for black men out here. So, it's very important for 10 out of 10. There we go. It's very important.
But Max, you're bringing up some really good points, which is that for certain subsets, safe space may have, there is a more of a need for safe space, and especially men of color. Like, because, and this is one of the things that I talk to my ladies about, those that I coach, those that I provide therapy to, like when our men leave home and go to work, they are dealing with a lot. So they've got the microaggressions. They have just all of the craziness that happens.
For sure.
And then, sis, like the world is not loving to them at all. The world is trying to take our men out. And so then they
literally
that. I mean,
literally.
Right. So we've got that. So they go to work, they're dealing with that kind of stress. They're dealing with societal stress. And then they come home. Now, this isn't everywhere. And so this is where we talk about the safe space.
Right.
But then they come home. What is home like for them? And, this is where it's really important for them to have that safe space. Can I leave? Can I at least have one space I could go to? And I ain't got
to the bathroom. Look, I just need a safe space.
Can I have one? I got to fight every day to prove my love to you. Can I have one space? So I love that. I'm gonna bring in some of the comments. So the question is out here, right? Like, what do you all consider a safe space? And Keith said, thank y'all for commenting again, and invite people and share this. Keith said, the naked me, no filter, not the, I love it, not the presentation me, my likes, my quirks, my kinks, things that I'm vulnerable to. Maxwell, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Sure. How does that resonate with you?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's, I exactly. I feel as though men, we have this societal pressure to kind of like, not be stoic, but just, you got to be a man, you got to be tough, which is cool. I agree. Yes, men are naturally, you know what I'm saying? But it's a societal pressure for men to like kind of, when it comes to women, to like, we can't really be like 100% like, this is me. This is, you know what I mean? Just like he was saying, just like, my quirks, my kinks, things like that. It's hard to be vulnerable sometimes, especially being a Black man. So yes, being able to be free, being able to, confide in in that space with your significant other, and just, whether like I said earlier, my mistakes, my shortcomings, my weaknesses, being able to unapologetically divulge these things, because these are like not secrets, but like, you know what I mean? Like, this is me. This is, because I know when you first meet a woman or whoever, there's always going to be a mask on, whether or not, like that presentation he says presentation. It's like a mask got to put on at first. When you meet anybody, it's a mask. Like, I'm not getting
all of me yet.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So being able to take off this mask and, hey, babe, boom, 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 boom. Oh, hey, this is my weakness. Oh, this is my, being able to divulge these things. These are really private things for guys. So, feeling like, you can, like I said, you can be very transparent with that person. And it gives a sense of, like, a sense of just like relief. Like, oh, I can actually, this woman is actually my best friend. You know what I mean? So having that is like, it's needed for sure.
I love that. I love that. I want to dig a little bit deeper into this presentation that Keith brought up and you alluded to as well, that men carry around almost like a protective thing, right? And we all want to stay safe. We all want to be safe. And that's just a natural part of our instincts, is to remain safe. And so
physically and emotionally, right?
Yes. So if society has taught us that, and by us, I mean men, that I'm out to get you, then I got to keep, as a man, it makes sense.
My guard is always up. My guard is always up. You feel me? Like, it's a thing. It's a thing, so, and that's why it's very important to like, for men to have that partner, to kind of like take, it's a movie I watch, Lord of the Rings, and it's a character in it called Samwise Gamgee, and he's with Frodo Baggins. He's taking the ring to Mordor, and he's like, yo, I can share the load. You feel me? So it's good. It's good to have a person to like, you can share that load with, so I don't have to like struggle with it by myself.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
I love that.
Yeah. Share the load.
Share, man. And that's one of the things, right? So the men, you are hitting it on the head. So the men that I work with, the men that I coach, that's what they talk about. Like, I don't feel like I've got someone that I can share the load with, someone that I could trust enough to let my armor down. Because when I let my armor down, I'm vulnerable, and there is the potential of being hurt, of being traumatized, of being in pain. So, honey,
especially if it's coming from someone who's meant to be your helpmate, someone who's meant to be there for you, and then they don't, do what they're supposed to do. So that further perpetuates that wall being up, because like the person who's closest to me is I'm letting my guard down. I'm telling like some of my weaknesses, and I'm getting like, instead of like supportiveness, I'm getting, not supportiveness.
I got that.
For lack of a better word.
Yeah, for lack of a better word, it's non-supportiveness. You is not. But that makes all the sense in the world. Like, if I can't go to you, sis, what is you here for? Jamila brought up a really good point, and she said, I need an emotional safe space. So for men, I hear what you're saying, right? Like being able to trust, being able to let you know all about me. Jamila is kind of connecting with that as well, right? There's this emotional safe space, a space where I'm able to be myself without that harm. And Max, you were definitely talking about that. And one of our other things we talked about intimacy, and that really is what we're really at the root of it, is us is men being able to connect with their partner in an intimate way where I am letting you see me into me see. I'm letting you get here now. Don't mess up now.
Right, exactly. And it's just like, it is a form of intimacy. It's not even about not even sexual. It is definitely a form of intimacy. You're really getting to know the real essence of Maxwell Hunter or whoever, you know what I mean? Like you're really getting to know me. And honestly, I haven't, and for guys, just going based off my experience, it's like it's kind of hard to find that. You feel me? Like it's hard, it's kind of, I've been in relationships where, okay, I could confide, but I can't not really. Me feeling like I can't really do it. So that comes from somewhere. I'm not like crazy or anything. Like it's a reason why I feel like I can't fully be 100% with you. So it's coming from somewhere. It's a thing, So it's like a tangible thing that men feel like, hey, I can't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I can't really tell you I'm feeling weak and this girl is tempting me. You know what I'm saying? You can't really do that because a lot of times, and of course, like I said, it's not all women. This is all just generalizations. I can't really do that. I haven't been able to do that in any of my relationships except for the one I'm currently in, which is my fiance. So, like being able to be really 100% with someone, it's like, it's really, it's a privilege, honestly, it really is. And it does so much. It has so many positive aspects.
Talk about some of the positive aspects. Let's I want to go there a little bit. Like, what are the benefits? Like this experience and this safe space that you're talking about, where you're able to be like really truthful and honest. Like, yo, oh girl, she tried to holler at me. She told me I was looking good and stuff. What is that like for you? What are the benefits of having this safe space?
I'll tell, and this is like probably the most important one: peace of mind. You know what I mean? Having peace of mind is very valuable. You know what I'm saying? So, and what I mean by peace of mind, I mean that as in, we can use the same example. Some girls feeling me or whatever. I'll use myself. Someone's feeling me. I'm feeling weak, and I'm feeling attracted to this person. And instead of, fighting and struggling with this. Like most men do, and they don't tell their women, which I understand. I get it, because that happens. Like, oh, whatever. But no. So and being able to say, hey, babe, I'm such and such, whoever it is, I'm feeling really weak. So being able to just tell that to your best friend, your significant other. And first of all, it takes a load off. It's like, okay, and it takes a load off. All right, I have someone else to talk about this with. We can talk together about this. There's no judgment. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no, I don't know. There's a sense of like intrepidation when like telling a woman something like that, like, like, shouldn't. And then tell her, because you don't want her to trip. Some women they trip. Let's keep it 100. Some women trip. Some women be tripping. Some men do too. Men do too. That's what but in this regard, so if I know that my significant other is going to trip, if I tell her something like that, like, oh, so you like her too, and you want to blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that I don't have to worry about that, it's such a weight off my shoulder, and it further it strengthens that bond with that person. And also it also solidifies me, like, okay, nah, I'm not gonna cheat. You know what I'm saying? Because she already knows. She knows. You told her. You feel me? So, and I don't know if it's a psychological thing, but if you tell hey, I'm feeling weak, in your mind, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm definitely not gonna do it now because you already you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's always good to just be able to be honest, man, and be transparent and just be able to just confide, get that peace of mind. You feel me?
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense. And so I want to bring in some of the comments because they are really on point with this. Again, thank y'all for your comments. What you're really talking about is being able to be connected with someone who is mature. There is a level of emotional maturity that's required in order to be able to have some conversations, including, hey, I'm a human. And Keith said it in his comment that this person that listen, I'm not dead. I'm a human. And the female is secure enough to know that she's not going anywhere. And it is normal. Our eyes are not, we're not blind. We can see, women can see. Listen, we see you big black chocolate pieces of gumdrops. We see you.
big licorice, licorice skin, you know.
Yes, we see you, and we're normal and natural, right? And it's okay to be able to acknowledge that, hey, and then you know what, and maybe I'm a little bit different, but there have been times where because I appreciate people, their beauty, men and women. So there are times I remember when I was dating. Dang, you see her butt? Like, yo, how she got her butt like that? Like, yo, she got a fatty. Like, and I'll tell her, ma'am, yo, not in a bad way, but you are gorgeous. Like, how you get your butt like that? Like, do I need to do squats? Like I got a girlfriend. She might be, I think she's up here tonight. She's a whole workout, we call it a fitness instructor. And her body, like, I be like, when I'm doing my squats, I'm like, yes, I'm about to get.
And but so, even to your point, you just pointed something out. It's like even being able to like, hey babe, look at that. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, it's like your best friend. You feel me? So it's just like being able to just do that because you can't do that with you feel me? You do that with somebody else, you might get slapped. You feel me? So you can't even.
Yeah.
So. It's peace of mind. It really is, man. It's just like, I don't have to worry about anything. You say, just be transparent. Yeah. But having that safe space, you can't do without a safe space. So it's all connected. True. It's all tied in together.
I love that. I love that. Lauren said, let's see. Lauren said, she said, I don't think all couples need to have that level of openness, but to have a safe space somewhere to talk about those kinds of things is important. Like some support systems that isn't going to judge you and help you through.
For sure. And to her regard, like, yes, like I said, going back to like, just like if you're feeling like weak or something like that, telling her it's like she can be your support system, like, you know what I mean? Like it's a whole thing. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. Look, my girlfriend said, LaTanya, how you know it's you? She said, oh, thank you for the It's her. When I say her body is banging, I'll be like, when I grow up, I'm finna get me my body like that.
Might have to get a PBL.
That's right. So look, Maxwell, when it comes to, listen, if y'all are just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. Share this, invite somebody, like, share. What is it, Max? Like, share,
subscribe.
You heard that. Do that. And invite. So if you have had a safe space, if you've had the privilege, like Maxwell said, of having a safe space, what has that been like for you? How has that benefited you? I saw one of the men in the audience say that for him, he was like, it was delicious. And I locked that thing down. Like I knew that this was what I needed. So I love that. Keith said, what did Keith say? Her maturity and allowing me the safe space allows her to be, ooh, women, are y'all hearing this? So he said the maturity and allowing me that safe space
Yeah.
that shifts how I look at her.
That's
I
facts,
hold
man.
her in a higher regard. And
Facts.
honey, we're gonna go the extra mile not to lose that safety in her. We will lock her down. Talk to me about
For
that, Max,
sure.
because I want women
Yeah,
to
man.
know.
It's facts, man. Like, so, you know, yeah, that's definitely a thing, man. I remember, like, about to move to LA and just thinking like, oh, when I get out to LA, I'm about to go crazy. You feel me? And I'm about to go crazy out here. But before I moved out there, met with my fiance and we started dating and stuff like that. And I was already in the midst of moving out there, but and I found I never met anyone like a woman like her before, like in that regard.
Yeah.
When it comes to like dating, being
Yeah.
able to, really be transparent and actually knowing, like, sometimes, ooh, cracker there.
That little crack, no, she got. Oh, look.
Puberty going on here. But no, but sometimes I think that having a safe space for men is so rare that like a true safe space is so not fair. It's so rare that, like, even for me, I have to go back to use me as an example because that's all I know. But I would catch myself like slipping back into like old ways of like not being transparent because I was just so programmed and so used to not being able to be transparent. So I find myself like, oh, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, almost like,
I can't share that.
so I would have to like check myself, like, no, we're not going back. We're not slipping back. You got someone here that you can confide in. You can actually, be open with, So yeah, that's how it is, man. So even now I'm just like, wow, I'm really blessed and privileged, to be with her and have someone I can, because it's still new for me. It's still really new. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, it's really new for me. So, it's really fire to have someone you can really like have a safe space with as a man, just confide in, just your best friend,
That is so, number one, that's so cool. But I appreciate the transparency that for you as a man, right? Not having had consistency in having safe spaces. Like women, it's important for y'all to know as well that if you are that safe space, and one of the women earlier mentioned it, that she is a safe space, and recognizing that it isn't something that men are always used to having, and so they have to be mindful enough to check themselves when they are kind of slipping back into old habits, and that's a real thing. Like, oh wait, oh, let me check myself. Like,
right.
There are things that men can do to continue to foster the safe space and that connectedness. So I love that. I love that. Let's go to the next question. You kind of talked a little bit about it, like what makes a woman a safe space, but I want us to break this down a little bit more. What does that look like? Like, for when a man, how does a man know that a woman is a safe space, other than like, yo, I just felt it? But what are specific things that men are looking for? Like, yep, she does this or does not do this, that makes her a safe space. So can you talk to us about that?
I think for a large portion is, let's see. Number one, I think women have the natural ability to be a safe space. You know what I'm saying? The first safe space you get is your mom, right? Even in the womb, physically, you're well, if you have a good mom, you got a good mom. But
Go ahead.
Even in the womb, though, like, you're in a safe space. So it's almost like a natural, women have that nurture, that feminine energy. It's like inviting. It's like, but somewhere along the lines, like, I feel like sometimes just with I don't know, social media, society, stuff, things like that, it kind of got maybe warped a little bit. I don't know. And then on top of that, men have kind of perpetuated things too. So I can't just be like, oh, it's just all women. No, men have definitely perpetuated some negative things and kind of perpetuated that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's making it for lack of better terms. But some of the things that I've kind of like some of the traits and characteristics that I've noticed, observed just from my current relationship, is just having I'll put it in a way. Just not letting not letting emotions run wild and having more of a just taking emotions out of it and not letting your emotions run wild. So if a man does say something, he's confiding in you and you don't agree with it or whatever it is, just to keep the emotions in check. So I can't fully answer that question. Every woman's different, but from what I've seen from Lauren, she's very pragmatic. She's very not pragmatic, but she has what's the word? Help me out, Rachel.
She has the ability to be objective. She's able to manage.
Right. There we go. Exactly. Yes.
This is what I'm hearing you say. And a lot of the men that I coach talk about that as well, right? That for them, and everybody's different. And I think you pointed that out earlier, depending on where a man is in his life. And that's going to play a role in what he's looking for and what he considers to be a safe space. But I hear what you're saying, that for you, what's important is a woman that is emotionally mature, is able to manage her emotions, can be objective, and is mature enough to handle feedback, can give it. And even this is what Keith is saying as well, right? This combination of a good mom, a homie, my lover, and advisor, right? So it sounds like for you, when you are looking to talk to someone and have this safe space, and you mentioned Lauren, is that she is pragmatic it sounds like is a good word. Like, I can run something past her. She can put emotions to the side. She's still a person, but she can look and see a big picture. She's not going to jump to conclusions. She's kind of has herself grounded. I love that. And I think that's important. That is, so women, one of the things that we teach in our course, Love Like You've Never Been Hurt Before, is we really help our women to heal. In order to emotionally regulate, that doesn't just happen like that.
Right.
You really do have to deal with some deep-seated wounding and some mindset shifting to be able to be this safe space for someone else, right? That's coming to you and saying, listen, I'm struggling with this, or girl, let me tell you, or well, y'all not gonna say it like that, but whatever you say it, let me just confide in you. And being able to recognize when is the time to snap your neck and whatever, and when is the time to just be like,
and there is a time for that too. Yes. You feel me? There's definitely time for that too. But
and knowing that balance, having that balance of bruh, let me come on, let me pull your coattail, because now you supposed to be, this is your part over here, you slacking, bruh, right? But able to do it in a way that still builds, still supports, still encourages. And that takes practice. So ladies, I don't want y'all to think that, overnight.
Yeah. And honestly, the sooner the better. So even ladies, even if you're not in if you're not in a relationship right now, this is the perfect time to start. You feel me? So just, better yourself, learn yourself, men, we have to learn ourselves too, but, and just, I feel like if you're not in a relationship, it's the best time to start, so that you can be that safe space for when you do meet you know, whoever you're going to meet. You
I
feel me?
love
So,
that. Yeah, I love
mhm.
that. For those of y'all, listen, so I've been on Clubhouse a couple of times and I heard some lingo, so I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna reset the live. For those of y'all that are just tuning in, thank you for tuning in. Thank y'all for sharing this. Thank y'all for inviting people into this excellent conversation where we're talking about men, what men need, what they're looking for, and how we as women, how we can tighten up, how we can grow, how we can support, so that our men, especially our men of color, they don't have to go know what you going where, you looking where for what, because it's right here. So what I was just, what was you saying? Because I
I
thought,
mean, and that is the natural reaction when you hear, like, you know, that's the natural visceral reaction of when you hear that from your man, like, you know,
mm-hmm.
whatever it is something, you know, negative about that person's character or whatever that they're dealing with, struggling with, you know, yeah, that's going to be the natural reaction. I get that, but being able to just like, okay, take a moment,
Yeah,
get my emotions in check,
yeah,
you know, and look at this at a bigger view and just say, you know, okay, boom, boom, boom,
yeah, yeah,
and
and that
address
makes
it. And
sense. Yeah,
right,
and that makes sense. Being able to have your wits about you and have your emotions in control, and at the same time, though, being um, being a safe space, being able to first off
right,
knowing what a man is looking for as a safe
mm-hmm.
space. I love also what you said too, though, which is what a lot of the men that I work with say, which is we've kind of done our stuff as well to make women who are naturally nurturing. We've kind of perverted that jank, like to where sometimes it's gotten to the place where women we are mothering, and that
Yeah,
is not what we that is not, that's no, we're not mothering, right? And some of that does have to do does so our men, and Max, you hit this on the head, men need to heal too, and
for
men
sure.
need to learn how to be, and we're going to talk about that in another live. We'll talk about how men, what women are looking for, how men can
Mm-hmm.
be the safe space, but it does
Right,
take some maturity and healing and growing as well. So I
for
love
sure,
that.
for sure.
Are there other things that men look for that makes you know that this woman is a safe space? And then the second part is, what are some early indicators that this is not uh, this is not where I need to lay my head down, like Samson? Yeah, I'm not putting my head in your lap. What, tell us about that. Are there indicators?
All right, yeah, for sure, man. There are definitely indicators. I mean, reactions. You
Mm,
know, just watch their reactions when you say things. Certain things that you know you might feel like, oh, this could be a little dicey. Let me see how she's gonna react. You know what I'm saying? Like that's um, you know, do you find yourself not having peace of mind often? I don't know. That might be an indicator that hey, might not be here. Um, you know, if you're always stressed out. You know what I mean? It might be indicated. When you want to go to work, that might be that might be an indicator. I know. It's a lot of different ways. You want to go for overtime, like, but sorry, it's Christmas Day. Yeah, I just want to get out the house.
I'm willing to go outside and cut the grass with the scissors.
It's 100 degrees outside. I'm gonna cut the grass. But sir, it's 2 acres, and you only have a push lawnmower. Yeah, but it's
I can't. I
oh
can't.
Lord.
Oh,
So yeah, it's different. You know,
yeah.
indicators come in different forms and fashion. Yeah, so.
Let me bring in some of the comments from the audience, man. My throat and my mouth is killing. Listen,
Woo!
thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for tuning in. We are talking about I'm about to say self-care. We're talking about safe spaces, right? How what men are looking for to create these safe spaces with their partners, and how we as women can learn from that and do better with that if that is our goal. So I wanted, so that's what we're talking about. And Maxwell has been keeping us rolling, but he's also been dropping nuggets. So have the men and the women in the comments. So listen, y'all are doing an excellent job in the comment. Keep them coming. So I want to ask you all this. How do you know? And I want to hear from both men and women. How do you know that this is not a safe space? So Maxwell said, listen, like if you don't have your peace, like I dread coming home, or oh Lord, I don't even want to tell her this, right? Or
and also just for men, you know what I mean? Just like, just be honest, bro. Just be honest, 100% of the time. And if she can't take honesty, she can't handle it, like, you know, peace. You know, respectfully, queen, I gotta go. But you know what I mean? So if you can just be honest all the time, 100%. I know it's hard. Just be honest. Just tell the truth.
Yep.
You feel me?
Yeah. And the reason why I love that, and I definitely agree with that, is because it does a few things. One, when you're honest, you are being truthful to you, and you are honoring you. You're honoring yourself. Two,
Right.
when you're truthful with the woman, it shows respect and honor to her. But the third thing that it does is it allows you to see very early on whether she is a safe space and what she's capable of. It lets you know her emotional bandwidth. And I was talking this morning. Sometimes I'm in my mirror and I'm doing seminars all by myself in the mirror. And one of the things that one of the points in my presentation was that a lot of times people are stuck at the place that trauma happened to them. And what I mean by that is, and I'm just specifically speaking about women right now, but this is for men too. But specifically, when trauma has happened to us in our early formative years, we get stuck there. If we don't get help, we get stuck there. And so a lot of times women, and this is for men to be mindful of, right? So be honest up front, because you want to know very quickly where this woman is. Is she emotionally sound? Now, if you're sugarcoating and lying, it's unfair to her. It's unfair to her, and it's unfair to you because you're dragging this thing out. So this will very quickly let you know where she is emotionally. And some people are still 12, still 14, still 15, and they may not drop down to the ground and have a temper tantrum, but it comes out in a different way. So they may be passive aggressive. They may go out here and, cuss you out or slash your tires and think like that. Lets you know very early on. And I deuces, right? But those are an indicator. That's an indicator of where this person is emotionally. Does that make sense?
Yo, for sure.
Yeah. Let me bring in the comments. So Keith said, exactly, a good mom knows how to give the space for us to grow and learn our lessons without you being all the way in the mix of things. Now, when you say good mom, because I don't want you dating your mom. So tell me, Keith, break that down just a little bit for us.
Let's dig into that a little bit. Let's dive in that.
Unless he was saying a good woman knows how to give the space for us to grow and learn our lessons without you being all the way in the mix of things. So tell us, break that down for us, Keith. I want to just be clear on that. Keith said, if I have to go, look at this, Max. If I have to go decompress after engaging with her, or if I have to prep myself to go be around her, then she is not a safe space. What's your thoughts on that, Maxwell?
I see no lie in that.
No lie detected.
No cap, as the kids say. For sure, man. Like that could be indicated. Like every time you like he's saying, like you gotta take time apart after you had a talk with her. You got, I mean, but some of that is sometimes you do have to decompress sometimes. But I get what he's saying though, for sure.
Yeah.
And you prep myself to be around her. I mean, yeah, man, some people, yeah, I agree for sure.
Gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What are some things that you feel like you wish women knew when it comes to them being, so that you don't have to decompress after you leave? Or, like, what are some things that men wish, and that's for the men in the audience as well, like, what are some things that you wish women knew or were more aware of or did more of when it comes to being that safe space?
Okay. Two things that pop in my mind.
Okay.
Number one is, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Ooh, talk to us. Talk to us.
It's not what you're saying, it's just the tone. It's how you're saying it. That's one. And number two is, what was the question?
What do you wish more women knew to do?
Gotcha. And to actively listen. Listen, not to have a rebuttal or to debate, but to actively listen. I should say consciously listen to what your man is saying. Because a lot of times, what ends up happening is, the women, and men do it too, is that you listen to have a snapback, or or a clap back. You listen. You're not listening to like really learn and see where they're coming from. You're listening to be petty. What did I say? To negate what you just said and to make you look stupid. What was that? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I've done it sometimes too. Like, yeah, let me petty real quick. I'm not gonna listen to what you're saying. I just want to say something so I can. You know what I mean? So just like you gotta, just consciously listen and take it. But that also takes maturity. You gotta be mature. You have to be mature enough to know and emotionally mature enough to know that, hey, I need to actually consciously listen, see what they're saying, where they're coming from. And a lot of times that will alleviate a lot of the fussing, a lot of the arguing, and a lot of the things that create a toxic environment, a toxic space where you can't even, an environment that's conducive for growing. It doesn't create that. You feel me? So, you consciously listen, you can be like, oh, that's what and sometimes you just mistakenly, you think you know what they're saying. Yeah. But you actually listen like, oh, you weren't saying that. I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? So just to consciously listen and actively listen. So those are the two things I would say that come to mind for sure.
I love that. And I'm going to pull the comments in a second. Thank y'all so much. Share this, invite people. So what I'm hearing you say is, one, the first thing is not what we say, but how we say what we like. I used to have a coworker. I used to work with a guy, Van, and he would tell me, "Oh, I don't like your tone of voice." And we sometimes have that shock. I mean, women, honey, we are gifted. We are, first of all, what you're not finna do is win an argument. We are we are lyrical swordswomen or swordsmen. Like our swordsmen, honey.
Listen, y'all some lyrical samurai on this.
Yes. And so, what just happened? Wait. And so because we are naturally very gifted at that, it does, and I'm just going to use me. So I'm not going to speak about anybody else. Right. That was my thing. But a lot of times that comes from a place of pain, right? So you're bigger than me, but let me get you how I can get you, right? And so when we feel weak, if we haven't learned to challenge some of those harmful core beliefs that you're weak or helpless or not in control, or that you need to be in control, then those are some of the things you resort to, right? The lyrical wordsmithing that we do. So I do love that. And then the tone of voice being very, so this, I'm going to say this for all of my, and so I coach women who are very wealthy and they are business owners. They are used to running the show. And those sometimes are the women. So women, y'all, those type of women, y'all need this course, Love Like You Never Been Hurt Before, because it really does help you learn how to tap into your feminine energy and to be soft. And
it's okay to be soft. It's all right.
It's okay. It's
like
also,
I feel like lately, like society, it's been like a thing where society has been like, oh, you don't need no man. You could be the man, and you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta. I'm independent. I don't need no. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. You could be soft. It's all right. You feel me? Like, you don't gotta. It's cool.
It is. Oh,
embrace it. You know what I'm saying?
Embrace it. But that takes practice depending on what you've experienced. And so if you've been used to running the show, and if you're a single mother, right, you're used to being on the go, on your feet. You're always looking to put out the fire. You have plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and you're used to not depending on other people. When you do connect with your partner, that can come out. And so having to be very mindful of, okay, let me get my voice together. Let me get my tone together. And we need men to say to us, don't get offended, but challenge us. Hey, sis, really? That's what that's what you talking to me like that? And that's all it takes. Like, all right, Big Daddy, you got me. I'm so sorry, right? So being able to connect with your partner and being emotionally mature enough to accept feedback. The other thing that I heard you say was what we teach, effective communication when it comes to relationship. Like, can you actively listen and not listening to debate, but listening to understand? So I love that. Yeah. That plays a big difference in how you handle conflict.
Yes.
Let me bring in some of these comments. And we are coming down to the end. If y'all have questions, ladies, throw it in here. Let me pull up some of these comments. Hello, Dion. Thank y'all so much for sharing this. So Keith clarified. Keith said, you had mentioned that y'all aren't our mothers. And I said earlier, be a good mom to us. I thought you meant be a good mom to your children. But Keith said he is talking about some of the characteristics of a mom. A good mom characteristic is knowing how to be protective, but let's scrape our knees and nurture us back to life. What you think about that? Because I can go both ways with that. What you think about that, Max?
Yes, I do believe there needs to be an element of like your mom, or not your mom, but an element of, you know, your mother. But I think it's important that we don't get too like, we don't want a mom though. You know what I'm saying? You're a man. You feel me? Like, we need a woman. You have a mom, I mean, or not, but they need just an element. It's just, you know, I think that's the only thing I had to say about that. But yeah, for sure, there needs to be an element. I get what he's saying, for sure.
Yeah. And I think that is a very important distinction to make, though, that there are elements. There are, and I'm going to challenge you, Keith, and I'm going to present you with an alternative way of expressing that. Consider the possibility of using that there is nurturing, that your wife or your partner is nurturing, not that she's like a mom, but that she's nurturing. And there are some, you know, as mothers are nurturing, right?
I think that's what he means. The element of nurture that you get from your mom, you still want to have that in your. I think that's what he's.
I also love what the second part of what he said, which was like not trying to take control, like let the man be in his element, and recognize that he is not perfect and is gonna make some mistakes. He may fall, he may scrape, and be able to be that support to him. I cannot wait for our next other live that we're going to do, because I'm going to be talking to the women about how to let go of control, feeling like you have to be in control. I love what Dion said, that men, he wishes that more women knew that men are sensitive. So I definitely love that. Keith said, that's real. Don't listen just to get your stabs. That's right. And listen, we get them stabs in. Well, Keith. Yes. Listen, if you want to come on, so listen, we'll stay on for about 10 more minutes. Max, I don't know what your schedule is, but it is hard sometimes with the texting. So if you do want to put your face into place, the link is in here. So if you want to do that, you can definitely come on. Keith is agreeing that elements is a good word. He's speaking to the nurturing nature. Dion is also saying the unconditional love also. So if you want to come up here briefly and share your thoughts about what makes a safe space for you, what you look for in a safe space, Maxwell and I will chop it up with you. Also, women, if y'all have questions, ask your questions. Now's a great time to ask your questions, or give your thoughts, your take on what was said. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you feeling like, listen, the man should be where he needs to be, and I shouldn't have to be a safe space? Like, he should already be where he needs to be. Why do I have to be a safe space? What would you say to that, Max?
I'm sorry. Well, I would say to that is that's part of, growing. That's part of the growth. Like, if for example, if a guy was already like a millionaire and the woman met him like that, she's not going to really appreciate the grind that he came from, coming from nothing to being a millionaire. She'll appreciate it more. So if a man's already, a man's already that, safe space or whatever, it's like, you might not appreciate it as much.
That's interesting.
You feel me? You might not appreciate it as much if
Okay, let me see if I'm hearing what you're saying, and I love that. We're gonna definitely have to have more talk about this, but this is what I'm hearing you say. Hey Keith, welcome. We'll get to you in 1 second.
No problem.
This is what I'm hearing you say, Max. That in response to that, that women almost don't want a man that's fully where he is going to be emotionally, because then you don't reap the benefit of kind of being along the journey. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
No, what I'm saying is kind of like the opposite of that, as in she wants the man that's already a millionaire. You feel me?
Gotcha.
As opposed to being with him from the you feel me?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Being with him from the bottom and working way up, she'll appreciate it more, as opposed to, getting the guy that's already, got his stuff together. But we are all humans. We're all flawed. And, we're all there's always going to be some growth you can do. You feel me? So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I think we are saying the same thing.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
The other piece of that, though, that you just said that makes sense is that we all continue to grow, and we all still need safe spaces. Like, I don't care if you have reached the zenith of your emotional peak, like, you'll never get there. We're all growing.
Okay. I like that word.
You like that? You like that?
The apex, if you will.
All right. Thank you for joining us. What's up?
My
Tell
pleasure.
us what your thoughts, what you're feeling like. Welcome to everybody that's joining in. Share this, invite people to join in. And we'll get to Mirage. But go ahead. Thank you, Mirage, for joining us and commenting.
Yeah. So thank you again for the invite to speak, because, even this is just a lesson in text messaging, that things can get lost in translation.
said, wait a minute. He's talking about you
Look,
want his mama.
I tried to help translate a little bit.
And you did really good, because that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about be our moms, be our mothers, but have
Right.
that nurturing side of you that
Right.
allows us to, you know, grow, make mistakes, you know, have our stupid moments, and then be like, all right, babe, pull it in. Let's go. Let's get back on track. Let's do this the right way.
Yeah.
And so our safe space, man, like that is a very, very unique, very, very unicornish thing to find, you know, to say, because it's very rare, especially with everything that we're being subject to
Yeah.
in society right now. We have
Yeah.
women who are on this boss chick move, and that's not a bad thing. But when you are, you know, you don't allow a man to, maybe he's not where you are yet, and he's still in his growth, like my man was talking about earlier. You know, to nurture him and nurture whatever that gift is that's in him, to get to help him get to his potential. Not you do it for him, but say, hey, listen, you're a beast at X, Y, and Z. You work that, get that, go there, do that. And so when you find your homie, you find your best friend, you find that person that's going to correct you when things ain't, you know, you find that in that one person. As men, we're not going to let that go, right, baby? Right.
Gotcha.
You're not going to let that go. You are going to make sure that you secure that, because every time you turn around and you know that you need to have that conversation, you know that you have that person that's always in pocket, that's going to be like, hey, what's the deal?
Yeah.
Hey, let's hash this out. You know, let's figure, you know, that person that you bounce life off of. And when you bounce life off of each other, it makes going through life easier. That's why, you know, I praise my wife day in, day out, because we've been with each other since I was 22, she was 23, and I'm 37 now, and she's 38.
She ain't asked you to put her age out there.
Listen, nothing wrong with it, because if she was 17. So,
listen, wait, Keith, because you're saying a lot of good stuff, and I want to jump in. Just I want to put.
Oh yeah, please, let's unpack.
So this is good. So for those of y'all, if this is your first time joining us on Relationship Friday, we talk about all kinds of stuff. So Keith is bringing up a couple of things that at a later point we are going to talk about, and one of which is this idea that as women we are bosses, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if we're bosses, are we also sometimes stopping the men that we want from coming in because of how we're kind of carrying things? Let me bring in a couple of comments. So Mirage says, and Mirage, please forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. First of all, that's a beautiful name.
You said it right. You said it right.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, that name is dope. All right. So Mirage wrote, first she said that, you know, she prefers the
marriage.
Marriage said, I love it though. Mirage said, you're the only person. So thank you for that. Anytime, sis. She says, good to see the homie Max on here. Appreciate y'all sharing this space. To me, the safe space for men and women is important, because honestly, without that, accepting and moving with the changes and the different versions of one another will be hard to understand, be hard to maneuver with. We are said to change into at least 7 versions of ourselves in this life, and you are going to be, I'm sure it's saying something else, but
marrying and loving anywhere from 4 to 5 versions of that person. That requires grace and a safe space for sure.
For sure. It sounds like y'all agree with that.
Without question. Like I said, we met when I was 21 or 22, and I'm still a baby. I'm still young. So we've grown up together. Yeah. And she's had to learn me in my different phases of manhood. Yeah. I've had to learn her through her different phases of womanhood, and how we do that together. Yeah. You know, being 21, you're not as mature. Yeah. And I've always told her that, I was one track minded. I knew I wanted to be a husband, knew I wanted to be a family man, X, Y, and Z. But my maturity may not have caught up to that yet. So yes, I'm still going to cut an eye at so-and-so, and I'm still going to be looking around as a 21-year-old man would do. But like we talked about in the beginning, her maturity was, okay, yeah, well, and we took some time with this, but her maturity got to a point where it was like, oh, this dude ain't going nowhere. Go ahead, babe. I see her butt too. She's cute. Like we've grown to that point where we're not competing one with another. I know she's still a hot-blooded, warm-blooded female, live and well. So yeah, she sees homeboy on or whatever, and okay, dude's cool. He ain't me, but all right. So we go through that, but our maturity and our growth allows us to, go through those things and still come out like, I still want to do this with you because you're my homie, you're my confidant, you my my nurturer. You give me all those things that keep me safe and wanting to be in this space.
I love that. Let me so any of the women have questions, ask. We got 2 men up here and we've got plenty more in the comments. What questions might y'all want to ask in these last 5 minutes? What questions might you want to ask? Do you disagree with some of what's been said? Right. So the men are saying that for them, a safe space is very important, that it is something that without it, they're not trying to stay around if there is not a safe space. And one of the things that, well, I don't know. He said,
the men, listen, men are, what's the word, man? We are very, very like.
I always say we're simple.
Simple?
Yeah, we are very simple too, for sure. But we're like very complacent, like not complacent, but like, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
What was you saying? It was something I said where like a man is not going to stay around, but it sounds like perhaps.
Yes, no, I disagree. A man will stay around. A man will stay around until the wheels are off, because we don't know that there is a safe space somewhere else. We don't know. So this is just how women are. You know what I mean? So we not gonna go nowhere.
Even take it a step further. You and women, you notice, and I'm gonna tell you how you know a man found his safe space, because you will see a guy who's like, you're like, ooh, he's mad handsome. What is he doing with her? And the girl may be not up to what you think he should be with, but guess what? That girl that you think that he shouldn't be with has provided him a level of peace and safety that he ain't going nowhere, because she is his safe place. No matter what you like, oh, you so tall, handsome, X, Y, and Z, why are you with her? Well, she has touched that spot and created a safe space for him, and that's why he's with her.
And looks fade.
And what?
Fade.
Looks fade. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
Especially if he ain't shallow.
Right.
Yeah. That is. I love that y'all are bringing this up, and I'm gonna bring in the comments. So there's a couple of key pieces, which is if a man, I don't care if compared to, you got a big booty, you got the shape, and Miss Lady who doesn't, but if that's his piece, he will leave you for her or stay with her and not be like, yeah, I'm fine right here where I'm at. So that's important to recognize. What?
And low key. If men really knew what's up, like, we wouldn't be as shallow. Like, we knew that we want what we, at the end of the day, we really want peace of mind. We wouldn't. It would be a lot more single, beautiful women out there. You feel me? Like,
I go to challenge that there are a lot of single, beautiful women out here, because men are recognizing that I don't need that. You can keep an Instagram chick, give me Keisha from around the corner or around the way, girl, and I'm good.
Y'all are hitting it on the head, because the men that come into me for services are at a place where they're like, I need peace with everything that's going on in my world. Like, yo, peace is that word peace I hear that all the time from my men. And so I
Mhm.
think it is something that is coming to the forefront. And that's why it's really important for us as women who want to connect with our men and be there for them. Sometimes we don't know how to do it. And so being able to hear from men like you all share candidly and openly is important. So definitely appreciate that. We have a question. All right. So, out of curiosity, if you're in a relationship or marriage, what did a safe space look like for you before getting a partner, or what did it look like after things that it became that you didn't expect? So, was there a different? I'm gonna read it one more time just so I can get the question. All right. So, prior to you getting into a relationship, what did it look like? What was a safe space looking like for you? And what did it look like after? Like what changed for you? Like when you met her, you thought, did you think she was a safe space, or did your requirements change? What happened that you didn't get what you expected? Did I say it right? Mirage, did I say it right?
You better not say nothing.
Go ahead, Max, and then Keith.
What I was gonna say was like before, it didn't look like nothing. I didn't know that there was safe space out there. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like think about it, like, deep sea fish. They don't know that humans exist. They never even thought, oh, there's some bipedal animals up here. They're really smart.
Yeah.
I had no clue what safe space was until I had, and to her part, she said what it looked like after and became that you didn't expect. And before I really knew what safe space was, I had to really go, like, there had to be some there had to be some trouble, if you will. They had some trouble to find out, oh, so I do have some safe space here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
And that's a good point.
And once I found out, I'm still in the shot, like, what? I can really tell you these things? And you not and me not you not make me feel guilty, and you not make me feel like a piece of crap. Oh, this is kind of fire. I can get used to this. So I'm like still trying to get used to it. Like, like I said earlier, I was like, I found myself like kind of slipping back into like, okay, don't, and I had to kind of check myself like, hey, you can still be transparent.
Yeah.
So
yeah. The other thing that I want to say before Keith hops in is, and this is just me challenging. So this is the therapist coach coming out. The piece of someone else making you feel like something. And this is for everybody. I want you to be very aware that no one can make you feel anything. Right. You are responsible for your feelings, right? Because our feelings come from how we think, and from our thinking, that's where the feelings or the emotions come from. And then from our emotions, we behave. But I understand what you're saying, that the response to what you give is not a negative or condescending or that kind of thing. I just want to point that out because I always like to teach. But Keith, and Mirage had a question. What are your thoughts about hers?
So beforehand, and my situation was crazy because before I met Tiff, I was in a relationship that it was not a safe space. I didn't know if she was coming or going. She was in our relationship at one point, and then she's like, "Oh, I need to do my own thing for a little bit." Oh, I can't do that, like, because if I'm in it, I'm in. If you uncertain this day and you just need that time for yourself this day, I can't do that.
Yeah,
that's all I need to know.
Exactly. What it was. That was all I needed to know. And I ended up taking a trip to Salisbury for Livingstone College homecoming. And that's how I got introduced to Tiffany. But when I started flying back and forth, it was actions. It was, okay, when I land, she didn't just say, where do you want to eat? She had food cooked at the crib.
That part.
And we were, mind you, we were in a long distance relationship. So we were calling and talking on the phone for hours and hours and hours. Like we had to get to know each other. So that time of building on the phone, then when we got together, whenever I would fly her up or I would fly down, it was okay. This is home. Like there's a cooked meal here. There's we talking and having good conversation. And even when we disagree, it's okay. Why'd you snap at me like that? Gotcha. And we had a conversation. Well, I thought you were saying this, and I didn't like how you said that. And then we have the conversation and hear each other out. And then it's like, okay, cool. Now we got that squared away. Hey man, you want to go bowling? You want to go gym? Like we were homies after the bickering. And when we realized that we could bicker, butt heads, but then come back to, hey, babe, what you need? Like let's get back to us. You don't skip over that. Like you don't just go, okay, I'm done with it. No, you found that space in her that's like, I'm more than good. Like I'm straight.
I love that. I'm going to bring in one of the last comments before we end. Abigail said before the relationship, he probably didn't need a safe space because he was probably accepting of himself. After the relationship, the safe place came where his reality had to be accepted by someone else. I think that's a good point, right? That when you are by yourself, we may not necessarily be having to share or be looking for someone else to accept us. But when we do get into a relationship, especially the person that we're with, like I need to be able to be candid, open, upfront, and honest, and to have that, have my partner be like that. The last thing that I want to say before we close, it just, when y'all were talking, it made me think about women who have been with men and the relationship ended, and a few months later they're with someone else and they're married. And sometimes it's because I found my is that what I'm hearing? I see y'all faces. It looks like yes, that
I know some of these words.
Man, listen,
we're gonna put a pin in
I know some of these words. This experience sounds familiar.
So listen,
all up and down my street.
All up and down. And so women, we can grow, we can heal, and we can be safe spaces. And we heard some really good things that the men were saying, some feedback from their perspective of what's important to them, what they look for. And it's important for us to hear from them and not assume what a man wants or needs, but instead, hey, let's hear from the horse's mouth or from the men's mouth. And being able to be in a healthy space yourself plays a big role in whether or not you are able to be a safe space for someone else. Like, do you accept your own self? Like Lauren was saying, are you at a healthy space? Have you healed? Have you grown? And if not, doing that work. So listen, we have our self-care, becoming your own best friend course. Y'all, the link is in the bio. No, not the bio. What is this thing called?
Description.
The description. I'm getting all the platforms mixed up. I done reset the room and subscribe to the bio. We also have our Love Like You've Never Been Hurt Before course. And that's for women, especially my business, my CEOs, my single moms. Y'all are like, listen, I'm ready to connect, but I'm struggling in that area. I don't know how to be soft, or I don't know my mouth. I got to get my mouth together, right? I want you to sign up for that when it comes out. I'm going to be doing a master class in a few weeks, and we're going to be talking about how to connect with that softness, how to engage with your feminine energy. So for those of y'all, reach out to us, let us know. We'll be sending out information about that. So make sure that you are following the pages and subscribe to the page and all of those things. So I want to thank you, Maxwell, for coming on. Thank you, Keith. Thank you again, y'all, for making this a bomb show like it always is every Friday. The audience, y'all have been thebomb.com like y'all always are. So I want to say thank y'all. Maxwell Hunter, tell us about your music, where we can find it. And then Keith, I want you to tell us about your insurance and products.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start. You can find my music anywhere. Just type in Maxwell Hunter. No, it's on all DSPs. iTunes, Amazon, Tidal, everywhere, literally everywhere. YouTube, all of that. It's Maxwell Hunter. The album is called Merlot. So you want to enjoy a glass of wine, sit back, relax. You know what I mean. Just vibe out with your significant other, and you guys can and be each other's safe space. Listen to Merlot.
That part. We got, we need to do a listening party over here.
That's a good plug if I do say so myself.
Yes, it was.
I'm jotting notes. That was good.
Listen, and his music is dope. Like, it's dope. It's dope. Yes, Dion said, listen, it's everywhere and it's fire. So Merlot, check it out. Good.
And I have a podcast too. It's called Lobby Call. You guys can go listen to Lobby Call podcast on YouTube or on anywhere you listen to your podcast. Yeah, Spotify, everywhere. Yeah, Lobby Call podcast. That's it. That's all my plugging.
I love it. Awesome. All right, Keith, what you got?
Yes, sir. So it's that's hard to follow, man. So I am Keith Israel. So I'm also I went to Berklee College of Music. Just a little plug in there. So I know some of your folks out in LA.
There we go.
But no, Keith Israel. I'm actually in the financial services industry and finance. So if you're looking for investments, looking for insurance, looking for annuities, etc., any financial product to help make sure that your money's in the right place, you can find me on Instagram, KEE617919. Facebook, Keith Israel. That's KEITHISRAEL. Where else am I? LinkedIn, Keith Israel. So yeah, and mind you, let's keep in mind financial services or life insurance is not just about for when you die. So let's make sure that we are putting our money in the right places, getting it growing, and making these businesses flourish. So we find you ways to do that as well. So that's it. Love y'all. And, Tiffany's Treats. So my wife, she sells vegan cakes and just regular cakes. Tiffany's Treats 2021 on Instagram, and then Tiffany's Treats on Facebook.
How's Tiffany spelled?
TIFFANY''S.
All right, excellent. Dion said, I know people trying to collab with you if you do. Wait a minute. Can I be your manager for tonight? Get with me. I am his manager.
I'm a manager that way. Get with me. All right.
Listen. So y'all check them out. Dion said he's going to get with you, Keith. Y'all check them out.
Please. Hey, let's do it.
Yep, y'all check them both out. Maxwell has done great work. He's got a song that's out on
I'm already on Maxwell.
Yes. And there was they played his song on the end of what was the name of that show?
HBO's Insecure.
Secure, exactly.
Insecure.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have another song dropping on Netflix show called Elite on April 8th. Cynthia. So.
Ooh, excellent. Excellent. And listen, he Maxwell's done tours. He has collabed with now I can't really disclose our relationship status, but he has connected with Masego. So I'm being funny, y'all. Unless him no. So Keith Maxwell.
You're right.
Yeah. So he's done some good work. Y'all check him out. And we will be back here next Friday at 7:30 p.m. Y'all. This has been awesome. This has been great. Thank y'all for sharing. Thank y'all for
one more thing. I'm sorry. You guys make sure to watch the Grammys coming up. I might be Grammy winning. Might be winning a Grammy.
He was nominated. A Grammy nominated.
Keep your eyes
Let's go.
Keep your eyes peeled. So
listen, And when he went his listen, so y'all were here tonight with a superstar.
Let's go.
And let me get that autograph. Let me get that autograph now.
Yeah, speaking into existence.
That's right. That's right.
It's yours, brother. It's yours.
There we go.
I love it. I love it. And so listen, RDH Counseling and Consulting.com. We are also on Facebook, Instagram at RDH. Follow us and look for me next. Look at me putting this out here. Look for me next in his next project, as well as a Lobby Call podcast, and possibly
yeah, of course.
And possibly, performing with Masego and whoever else. So I'll just
there we go.
I do backgrounds.
I got you. Yeah. I got the mic right.
It's been real. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next Friday at 9:30. Sorry, 7:30. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye. Y'all take care.
Blessings.